I think I'm gonna record it. Yes, I'll let Brittany introduce herself and yeah.
Following Lydia. So I didn't even know it was Color Wars, but this is like one of my favorite colors. Like really I like rose gold, but rose gold is like a form of pink. So yeah, but excited to be before you all. Those of you who don't know, which I don't think this anybody here don't, but I'm Brittany and I am a double diamond on the team, been around for a long time. It'll be 12 years in February, which is crazy. Um, been through a lot of life, a lot of seasons in this business. And so when it comes to talking about being present in every season, I feel like, I can help you guys with that because I've seen a lot of life with this business. Really grew up in this business because when I started, I was like, what, 24, 25? You ain't grown. No matter how grown you think you are, you still trying to figure out life. And so I literally grew up in this space and I'm grateful for this space. I was just talking to one of the leaders and if nothing else, we're grateful for the personal development and how much further along than we are in relationship to our peers that are not in this space. Like you cannot pay and put a value on the person that you become just by being a part of this space. And so, with that being said, um, you gotta really know why you're here. Like that's the first thing. Um, and you gotta really like you have to really know and be clear about why you're here. Um not what you think you should be here for, not what you heard you could be here for, but why are you here? And why are you doing this? Why does it matter for you to be here and show up in this space for you? Because showing up for Lydia, showing up for participation points, showing up for hand claps, showing up for praise, showing up for Rachel is not going to get you to where you want to be. That's not enough. Because Lydia gonna piss you off. Rachel gonna piss you off. Something's gonna happen to where it's like, showing up for that, and you gonna feel some type of way, and you're not going to show up in the way that you should because you're not showing up for you and the reason that you need to be here and the reason that you want this business to work. And so that's the first thing is why are you here? And we talk about the why all the time, but it has to even go beyond the initial why that we talk about. Like it has to be a personal reason that you're here. And then it does need to go over in the spiritual realm because sometimes you can't do things for you, but if you know you doing it for Jesus, it hit a little different. So the first time, I know y'all didn't all heard my story, and if you haven't, this is a part of it. Brittany used to smoke weed all day long. Okay, sun up to sundown. The first thing that I was thinking about when I woke up was how I was gonna smoke for the day if I didn't have it already. That was the basis of how my day went. If you came into contact with me whether I had smoked or not, the residue was on me. It was on my purses. It was in my clothes. It was in my jackets. It was in my hair because it's what I did. The very first time that I fasted was the very first time that I could let weed go. Because why was I doing it? I wasn't doing it for me. I was doing it for Jesus. And so that gave me something to stand on in terms of showing up in the way that I wanted to show up or letting something go that I knew wasn't conducive to where I was going. It wasn't because I was doing it for me. It wasn't because I was doing it for a goal. It wasn't because I was doing it because somebody told me that I should. I was doing it for Jesus. So one, you got to know why you're here for you. Two, you got to figure out why you're here with Jesus, for Jesus and God and what that entails. Because what we're doing here is kingdom work. And so there's a reason that you're here beyond you. Let's be clear. You said yes to this for you, but it ain't about you. Up and down, sideways too. It is literally not about you. It's literally you're in this space to help build the kingdom in some type of way. Whether you're connected to some community that needs it, whether you're a willing vessel and a good conduit that people can come into this um, space through, whether you have certain, and we all do have certain skills and abilities that can connect with a certain group of people in order to bring them into this space, whatever it is, you're called here for that too. So that's the second thing, is figuring that out. And then the third thing is just making up your mind that this is going to be a solution for you, that it is a blessing and not a burden. A lot of times people don't show up for their business because they're looking at it as a burden. Oh, I gotta do this. Oh, I gotta get on trainings. Oh, I gotta send these messages. Oh, I gotta do these follow-ups versus no, like literally, I get to be in this space. And this space, because I'm in this space, is going to bless my life in ways that I couldn't even imagine. And then it's also going to give me the opportunity to bless other people. And so this is a blessing, and it's going to bless my life. It's going to bless my finances. It's going to bless everybody that's connected to me versus being something that I'm just extra, that I'm just adding to my plate. That's making me more busy. That's taking away time from me. That's taken away from my Netflix and chill time. That's taken away from my girls' night. Like, no, it has to be like, this is what's going to allow me to do more of the things that I want to do. And so this is a blessing before it's ever a burden. And so it's the switching from I have to I get to, because I said yes in this space, and I get to on so many levels. And so it's switching that. And then I will say, once you get all of that and you just make the decision that you're here and this is gonna work for you and you're happy to be here, it will allow you to show up regardless of whatever. And once you really start to take up your space in this space, once you really start to dig into the community, once you really start to like do the personal and spiritual development, once you start to make those relationships with your sidelines and you come to events and you start to get to know people and things like that, you're going to want to be here more. Like you're going to want to actually throw yourself into your business when you're going through something versus backing away from it, because you're going to understand how joyful you feel, how light you feel, how inspired and encouraged you feel in this space. And so when you're in a bad place, you're going, what do you do when you're in a bad space, or you're hurting or whatever? You run to comfort, right? So if you see this space as a place of comfort, you will start to maybe overdo it with the business and start to be distracting yourself from things with the business because it's such a safe place for you. And so I know at one point God was like, okay, baby, you're steadily running to that business and you need to run to me. You ain't even running to me. You running to that business to, save you from whatever it is that you're going through, to pacify you from whatever it is that you're dealing with. You didn't just overdid it. Like you ran there first. But it's because I find so much joy in helping people. Like when I could be having a bad day and or struggling with enrollments or pissed off because a person quit or something, and somebody that's working on my team gets a win and they text me, or they get some results and they text me, or a customer is like excited about their results and they text me or write me on Facebook, and all of that don't even matter no more because of the joy that I get from the things that I get to do in this space. And so when you're showing up because you're just giving to give, then it allows you to work from a place of just being, understanding that because you're sowing, you're going to reap. And so find comfort in this space, find connection in this space, find family in this space, and you will be able to show up and want to show up, not be able, you will want to show up in every season, and you'll start to see yourself figuring out what more ways that you can show up, figuring out how you can tap more into your business because it gives you the peace. It gives you, it just makes you feel good. It's a space where you're lifted up. And so whenever you're going through something, you want to be lifted up. A lot of times, because this is probably the only place that we really feel like we got a lot of control. Can I get an amen? Like, if you think of every aspect of your life, you feel like this is like the place where you got the most control, right? So, because this is a space where you feel like you got the most control, you start to throw your weight around and you don't throw it around in the right way. This is the first thing to go because this is what you can control. You can't control nothing else. So, because you can control here or whatever, you start to throw your weight around. This is my business. I can show up whenever I want to show up. Da, 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 da. I don't got to show up. I don't got to do nothing because this is my business. When it should be like, if I'm gonna do anything, I'm gonna show up for my business because it's my business, And so you start to throw your weight around in the wrong way versus throwing your weight around in a way that can get you more control and autonomy over your life, which is continuing to show up and be consistent. And so it's not about showing up X amount of hours, X amount of days. It's about being consistent. I don't want you to show up sporadically for 4 to 8 hours one day a week. No. I'd rather you give me a good solid 1 hour a day for 5 days versus showing up for one day, giving me a whole bunch of hours on that one day. Because it's not about that. It's about the consistent showing up for your business every single day and putting forth effort every single day. Now, don't get me wrong, Mark and Cindy, they became who they was one day a week. But when they tell their story, is if they knew what they knew now, they would have put in way more days than one day a week. And so you just have to decide that this is always a part of the solution with whatever you're going through in whatever season. If you need more finances, this is the solution for it. If you are struggling with affliction in your body, we got products for that. If you're struggling mentally, we have spaces for that. You have a mentor for that. We have books that we can recommend. We have sermons that we can point you in the direction of. We got Bible studies that we can point you in the direction of. Like everything that you need in every season, you can get it here. You need friendships? Make some new friends and by all means, look, make friends in this space. Because I'm gonna tell you this: a lot of the friends that I made in this space are more true blue than the ones that I grew up with, and show up for me in a whole different capacity than the ones that I came up with. And so, if you need community and you need friends, it's here. And so, when you understand that everything that you need is in this space, or you can get everything that you need from this space, you will start to find yourself just showing up and wanting to be around. And so you gotta decide that it doesn't just work for me. It doesn't just work for Lydia. It doesn't just work for Rachel. It doesn't just work for the leadership. And it works for you too. It literally works for you too. God is no respecter of person. Listen, people always want to ask, like, well, how are you, the top and roller? How do you consistently do XYZ? Baby, I don't do anything extra than y'all do. I'm telling y'all, I promise you. I promise you. I don't even do reels and TikToks like that. I promise you. I don't do anything extra. What I do more than you is I'm consistent. I show up for my business 6 days a week because we rest on one. And whether I'm on White Me Down or whether I am literally pushing myself to show up, I'm doing something every single day. What a 10 house supposed to get up once if I'm having a bad day or I got a busy day. But baby, I got up that one house post and baby, I put up my stories and baby, I posted and baby, I went live and I reached out to my team. Like I showed up in some way, shape, form, or fashion for my business. And so literally that's the difference between you and anybody else that you see winning in this space. It's the consistency and it's the consistent hitting of the tree. Hitting of the tree. One time a day. You can hit it one time a day. Go back, hit it once. Go back, hit it once. Eventually, by nature, the tree is going, you're gonna cut through and the tree gonna fall down. And so it's can you decide and see this business as priority enough to show up regardless of how you feel. Listen, I got a lot going on. Me and Lydia be talking about all the time. I got a lot going on. I literally just came from, and praise the Lord, we got out early, okay? But I literally just came from what was basically a vendor event. It just wasn't for my business. It was for the externship that I'm going through or whatever. But it was something like that, a community event where we were given information about the services and resources that we have to offer. And she asked me to do this call. And I said, of course, because you can literally show up regardless of whatever you're doing, if it's a priority and if it means that much to you. You will figure it out. I told her, I said, yeah, girl, I'll be in an event, but I will figure it out. Because what? I got my phone. I can get on Zoom on my phone. I got my AirPods. I put my AirPods in. I can go to I can go outside if it's too loud. Like, I can make the accommodations to show up and pour into you guys. And so, what excuses are you allowing yourself to believe are reasons that are holding you back from showing up when really you just need to tweak it, or really you just need to think outside of the box of the way that you can show up? I take one-on-one calls while I'm at the grocery store. Why? Because I ain't doing nothing. Walk to the grocery store, pushing the cart, picking up my groceries. So because I can't be on my business at that time because I'm focusing on going to the grocery store, that don't mean I can't talk to somebody and coach them through what they need to do to build their business as I'm walking through the grocery store. So because I gotta go to the grocery store is not an excuse as to I ain't gonna do nothing for my business. No. What can I do? How can I capitalize? Or I'm in the grocery store. I'm around so many people. What connection can I make out of this before I walk up out of this grocery store that's going to push me forward in the direction of my goals and where I want to be? And so my supervisor at my externship, oh baby, got my website, see my hair results, see Miss Y's hair results, see my before and after pictures from my weight, baby. My business is at the forefront of my mind, no matter what I'm doing. My main thing is the main thing. And because of that intentionality, it allows me to show up even in the spaces where I'm not on Zoom, or even in the spaces where I'm not doing it works, but I'm still showing up because I'm super intentional and my business is always at the forefront of my mind. Because at the end of the day, this internship, you give me a job, this certification, whatever, is not going to give me the life that I want that this business will give me. It's not going to allow me to go to the gym in the morning. You know why? Because I'm going to have to be at y'all office in the morning. Not going to allow me to maybe participate in team ministry stuff. Why? Because I might be on somebody's clock. You know, like the way the stuff that it's not gonna allow me to do Friday night Bible study with my family because I might have something to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what kind of life do you want to live? That not the one that you think that you're supposed to live, not the one that we've been taught to live. What life do you really want to live? And understanding that this space is the only way that you're going to get it, you're gonna show up all the time because what do you want? That life that you desire. Why did I start this business? Because they sent me off and told me if I go to school and get my degrees that I would have the life that I wanted, and it didn't give me that. And so I said, well, if I was willing to go to school and get the degree to get the life that I wanted and give it to me, why come I can't try this space? Why am I still here? Because it's giving me the life that I always ultimately desired. And why do I show up? Because I want to continue to keep that life. Who am I to take away the life that I desire? That with me not showing up is me taking away the life that I desire. And so when you don't show up, no matter what you have going on, you have to remember that you not showing up is literally you robbing yourself of the life that you was created to live. And so in the hard seasons, connect to your mentor. She can always point you in the direction of what you need in order to be empowered, encouraged, and strong enough to go through whatever season that you are going through in the midst of this business. This business is so graceful. It goes through every season of life with you gracefully. Because what? We get to control our narrative here. And so if I'm grieving about something, because I went, like I told you, I've had seasons. I lost my significant other due to a surgical mishap. That wasn't, it wasn't like he was sick. We knew it was coming. No, something went wrong in surgery. They messed up. He bled out. He died. Me not having to go to a job allowed me to take the moments that I needed to take, grieve. If I needed to be literally bawling my eyes up, curled up in a ball, sending messages, guess what? I'm in behind a screen, a phone screen, a computer screen. I can still send my messages. I can still get my hosting post up, bawling my eyes out. I was doing an informational call or opportunity call one of them days with Rachel. Signed up to do it. I literally just stopped, literally had to clean myself up, get myself ready for the call. I jumped on a little bit early with Rachel. I said, I'm not okay. I'm here. We're going to do this opportunity call, but I'm not okay. Got done, got through the opportunity call. It's probably good. Got off, went back to grieving because this space allows me to do so. And so I'm grateful for this space. And I hope that you guys can find the gratitude in being here because when you find the gratitude for this space and what we get to do here, you'll show up regardless because you'll want to show up. So that's all I got.
That was good. So good. And you actually had to, I had wrote a few things down I knew I wanted to ask, and grief was one of them because I remember I reached out to you about that some years ago when I was grieving and dealing with some things. And I was told reach out to Brittany. So I appreciate you for sharing that because that's a huge thing. And then I also appreciate you for sharing how sometimes we let go of our business first because we feel like it is something that is so disposable, and it's honestly something that we need to hold close because baby, that job is disposable because that's how they look at us. Because if you quit, they gonna
Listen,
have somebody else in your position real quick. They do not care.
They ain't crying.
They interviewing. They do not care. So what I would want you to touch on, and like I said, y'all, put y'all questions in the chat if you have them. I want you to touch on being present and showing up when you are not winning and what that looks like
Uh-oh.
to still show up when you aren't winning.
Yes. Okay. So, um, one of the things that allows me to show up when I'm not winning in the way that I want to, or in the way that I believe I should, based on the work that I've been doing, XYZ, is understanding that sowing and reaping is a law of the land. Period. Nothing and nobody can mess with that law. It's literally a law of the land. We ain't even got to talk biblically, but y'all know I got a scripture biblically. But it's the law of the land. You sow, you reap. Period. So knowing that because I'm sowing, I'm going to reap. And if I'm doing my work, I know I'm going to reap. The only time I get in my feelings is when I ain't done enough or when I know I've been BSing. And I need results to come up like ASAP, but I ain't planting nothing now, no results just spot up like ASAP. And so now I'm just hoping that what I planted before just miraculously grows and gives me some grace for and covers the work that I haven't been doing. That's the only time I'm in my feelings. But if I know that I've been showing up and I've been planting, I know that my harvest is coming. And guess what? I don't get to dictate when, but I know that it's coming. Just like when I was at a job and I literally just went in there and did my day-to-day task every single day and walked up out that building. I went as a pharmacy tech, I clocked in. Went back to the pharmacy, did whatever I had to do for that day, worked hard in that pharmacy, locked out, walked out their doors. I did not find my store manager, my pharmacy manager, supervisor, none of that, and say, "Hey, I did my work today. Where's my money? Put it in my hand. Give me my money for the work I did today." Didn't do that. I left knowing that my paycheck was coming in 2 weeks. Period. And so that's the same thing that you have to. That's the same mindset that you have here. I know that I'm doing the work. I know that I'm putting the work in, and regardless of it showing fruits right away in the way that I want it to show fruits, it's gonna show fruit regardless. It's just not up to me to tell the fruit when to grow. Just like if you are a farmer, you can plant uh seeds all day for corn, and um you can look at the seed all day and say, grow, grow. I literally just put you in the ground, grow. I need corn tomorrow. I have a dinner, a feast. I need you to grow by tomorrow. What is that seed gonna do? It's gonna still go through its process of growing, regardless if you need it by tomorrow or not. And so that's the same way that you have to look at your business, is that you're just planting seeds, and when the time is right, you're going to reap the harvest. And guess what? You need business 365 days a week. So, or the 365 days a year. So whenever they're ready to check out, it's always a great day because you need business every single day. So if you don't get anything from the work you did today, when you do get the harvest from it, you needed it on that day. And so you have to know that when you plant, you reap. When you sow, you harvest. That's it. That's it. And then find another way to win. Your wins can't only be attached to your enrollments. If your wins are only attached to your enrollments, baby, you ain't gonna survive. Okay, you're not gonna survive if they only attached to your enrollments or enrollments at all. So, what can you celebrate? Can you celebrate your team? Can you turn around and help your team enroll? Because maybe you may be in a planting season, so you may need to turn around and help them. You know, harvest. Their and get through their network, which you still winning because when they win, you win. So finding different ways to win as well, and different ways to win the day. Did you get up? Did you move your body? Did you do everything that you were supposed to do? Did you complete your six list? So like giving yourself more ways in enrollments to understand that you're winning and moving the needle forward towards your goal, but really just understanding that sowing and reaping is a law, and if you sow, you reap. Period.
I knew that Galatians 6:9 was coming. I know you so
Mm-hmm.
well. So I know the last thing that I have written down is navigating your calendar to allow it to help you to show up. So what I tell them is essentially the same thing that I operate off of. You look at that squad calendar and you complete your personal items first, and you fit the squad calendar in where you can fit it in, because burnout is a thing, being overwhelmed is a thing. So you need to be realistic about the calendar that we have. You're not gonna make it to everything. I'm off on Tuesday, so any Zoom happening on the Tuesday, you won't see me on, because I'm going to honor my Sabbath, because I'm going to honor God first before anything else.
Period.
So I want you to talk about how
Mm-hmm.
navigating your calendar effectively allows you to show up effectively.
Yes. So we are our own boss. Lydia's not your boss. She's your partner. She's your mentor, but she can't make you show up. She can't fire you. She can't hire you. So with that being said, you're your own boss, but it's hard to be your own boss. So your calendar is your boss. And so if you don't have a calendar, that's why you're all over the place. And me as somebody, I thought this because why I'm single and I ain't got no kids. What do I need a calendar for? I ain't got nothing that I'm doing. That was my argument always. What do I need a calendar for? I ain't got any kids. I ain't really got nothing going on for real, for real. I need to schedule personally, but I wasn't thinking about being booked and busy. So I'm be booked and busy. I'm be successful, right? So I'm be booked and busy. So I need a calendar. And so pretty much, with how I do my calendar, and I got my thing right here, which is good. So, um, what I do is I'll write like um big stuff or like homework assignments because I'm in class now, and like the whole team stuff. I'll write in this space, which I haven't done it just yet. I'll write in this space like the entire team calendar, whether I'm gonna be on there or not, because I want to know what's going on because I have a team. And so regardless if I can show up or not, I want to still know what's going on so I can tell them to give them a reminder, send them a reminder. So in this area, I'm writing out due dates, doctor's appointments or whatever, in the team schedule. Now, when I go to let me see, let me go to a week where now when I go to this slot, I'm actually writing in the times of my workout, and I am including commute time. Now, you can listen to personal development, you can take calls, you can take customer calls, you can take coaching calls during your commute time, but you still want to have that accounted for when you're writing out your schedule because you know you can't do nothing but be driving and you can only do things that you can do that you don't use your hands. So like you could still put something. So like for me, I go to the gym from 10 to 11, but I normally leave my house like 9:20 ish. And I know like from 9 to 9:20, I'm getting myself together. So my gym line goes from 9 to 11. Even though I'm only actually at the gym from 10 to 11, I know that I'm still getting ready from 9 to 11. So if somebody's asking me if I'm available, somebody's asking, can I call them at a certain time? When I'm looking at my calendar, I know that from 9 to 10, I could probably take a call. Probably from like 9:15, 9:20 to 10, I could take a call and I could still write that in that slot, but I still want to know what's going on. So every day, like I write out, you might do this for a week because you might not you might have to play around with it for a while to find like a rhythm that suits you. But you want to write out everything that's in your calendar that's non-negotiable. So if you got kids, you know, their times for like after school sports or after school programs or whatever they're a part of, extracurricular activities. You want to write out your job and you want to write out your commute time, like include your commute time when you're scheduling, you know, what you're doing for your job, breaks and all of that. You want to have things like really set to the T in your calendar because that's going to allow you to see the nooks and crannies that you actually have to devote to your business or just take a nap. Because that's the thing, you can schedule a nap too. Now, that's kind of hard for me, but people do it. People do schedule naps. I'm just not somebody that can fall asleep like that, like just because it's on my schedule. So I normally don't schedule those. That a nap just don't be in my it just don't be on my radar. But there are people who do that. Like, but you can schedule like date nights, you can schedule like time to scroll, like literally just having yourself on some type of schedule and having some type of order and decency, because God works in order and decency. So having some type of order and decency about your day allows you to pivot even if you need to. So sometimes we schedule out things but life happens because life is just going to happen. Like something suddenly happens or an emergency happens, but because you have your day scheduled, it's easy to maneuver things around. It's easy to pivot and you're not feeling overwhelmed because now it's like, oh my God, I got I got all of this going on. And now you're feeling overwhelmed when you really don't got a lot going on. You just didn't write it down. And you're trying to hold it up here. And it's taking up mental space that it doesn't need to take up. So while you're trying to remember all these appointments, you're trying to remember these time dates, you're trying to remember all of this stuff, all these Zoom times, your work schedule, your kids, like you just trying to remember it. No wonder you going crazy. No wonder you feel like you overwhelmed. No wonder you feel like you ain't got no time to do this business and it's stressful and it's because you literally are allowing yourself to be overwhelmed because you're trying to remember things that you literally could write down and use that brain space to literally build your business. So that is like it's so much that goes into a schedule. It's not just you bossing yourself around, but it's a mental thing. It helps with your mental clarity too. Have you ever heard of a brain dump? A brain dump is something good to do because why? It clears up mental space. And so writing down all those dates and not trying to remember them, it helps with your mental clarity. And so basically your schedule, your calendar is your boss. If it's not in your schedule, if it's not on your calendar and it's not a 911 emergency, it's a no. It's a no. Especially if you get like now, if that's just an open slot and you want to say, yeah, I mean, teach his own, use discernment. But if there's something scheduled there, especially if it's the time that you set aside for your business, businesses have open and close times. So keep that in mind. That's why your schedule is important. What time are you opening your doors to your business? What time are you closing your doors? Target don't just be willy nilly with they open and close. Like they have a set open and close. Like that's part of your business too. So if you have time set to work your business in that time slot, guess what? You can't participate because if it was the time that you was on somebody's clock, now you might try to see if one of your coworkers will switch with you. You might try to ask for the day off. But if they say no and you got to be there, what you gonna tell that person that invited you out for XYZ? I can't go because I gotta be at work. I be at work that time. Dang, I'm gonna miss out. What you do? Be salty that you missed out, but you go to work, don't you? And so that's the same thing with your business. And guess what? If you get everything done that you're supposed to do before the time that you have scheduled for yourself to get scheduled off, guess what? You can go and participate. At a job, no, you just there for the time that they told you got to be there. So um, you just want like your calendar is your boss, and that's the best thing that I can say, the best way that I can put it. You are going to be running yourself ragged. You're going to feel unnecessarily overwhelmed, unnecessary anxiety um, by not having a calendar and not having structure to your life. And this calendar goes beyond this business because I tell people all the time when I'm talking to them like prospects, and I know they don't got no calendar. I'm like, girl, whether you start this business with me or not, you need a calendar. It will save your life. And so, even touching on what Lydia's saying, like I said, I put the whole entire calendar in my like calendar, like monthly layout, hourly calendar. If I'm not going to be there, I don't put it on my hourly because I'm not going to be there. So, in a point in writing something down and I'm not going to attend. But like I said, I have it on the month spread. So when I get up in the morning and I look at my day at a glance, I can remind my team about whatever's going on that day, regardless if I can show up or not. And so, um, like these spaces that we create on the calendar are just so that we have multiple spaces to be able to accommodate everybody because everybody's schedules are different, everybody's work schedules are different. So like the promotion hour spaces, I really don't want y'all to be phased by those are literally spaces that we're creating to just give people support in the time that they need support, but you can always have a one-on-one with your enroller, and that's enough. Like I had a girl that was a top enroller all the time, like a beast, and she never showed up to nothing. that, that is correct. But I'm just saying, like, you don't have to be on a Zoom to work your business. And so I don't want you to feel like you're less than or anybody's looking at you less than because you're not on a Zoom, especially a promotion hour if you cannot be there. Now, the trainings, I would say prioritize those, especially if you're not where you want to be, or especially if it's on leadership or whatever, you're an emerging leader. You want to make sure that you're prioritizing like trainings and stuff if you can be there. But then if you cannot, do not allow it to take you out. There's a recording, just watch the recording. Just make sure you watch the recording. That's it. But if you can be, at a training, I mean, you should prioritize the training because you'll learn. And the more you learn, the more you earn, the more you show up, the more you go up. And so the times that you can show up, like for real, show up, y'all. But the times that you can't, it just is what it is. Just make sure that if you have a team, you let them know about it.
Yes. That was so good. Y'all show Brittany some love in the chat. That was absolutely amazing. I truly, again, I appreciate you. And I was sure like, I thought she said it to 3, but okay, Jesus knew. Jesus knew. So
Look, he did.
he did. So I
He did,
truly
girl.
appreciate you guys. I will have this recording up on my YouTube channel. I knew I needed to record it. So all of you guys be sure that I actually want to challenge y'all when we hop off of here, go in the Money Squad group meet and go show Brittany some love. Like go gas her up. She thrives off of that. I just want to let
My
y'all know.
pleasure, guys.
She does. Okay, go gas
Yes,
my friend up because she's that girl.
Academy.
And for those in St. Louis, if y'all, I don't know if she gonna be at my meet at Works on the 13th, but if you in St. Louis, get
Oh,
there.
because I'll be at the what's the
Oh, because
name?
you're doing the vendor event in my son's school. Okay, there we
I'm
go.
doing a vendor event. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So either go visit her at my son's school or come to the meet at Works at the library. Okay, if you a distributor, y'all should be there. Who local? Demaya, she's new, and her launch party is the same
Hey,
day as meet at
Demaya.
Works. Kelsey, get on up in that room, girl. So, all right, you guys, let's do this boomerang and
Well,
then
I'm glad
Brittany.
I could help y'all.
Yes, I look, baby. I appreciate you. Okay, I be praying like God, who do you say needs to be in the space? We're gonna do this
Well,
boomerang, and then Brittany,
look.
if you don't mind praying us out, I will greatly appreciate it after I clean my camera off. Lord. Okay, y'all ready? Lily, I just like your edges, girl. Send me a selfie or something so I can put it in my phone.
Yeah, they slick. They
Okay.
slick back.
1, 2, 3. All right, I'm gonna let Brittany pray us out.
God, I just thank you for today. God, I just thank you for this team. God, I thank you for Lydia, God, and her leadership and just her desire to just be a part of what you are doing in this space, God. Her desire to just always be a better leader and just be there for her team and show up for them in ways that, that are unimaginable, honestly, God. And so we just thank you so much. I thank you for each and every person that decided to show up and take time out to just learn and to grow and to really just build this thing that you've given them and just take seriousness the take the sorry take it serious that you place something such as this like so big in their hands, God, and that you just have so many lives that you want them to touch individually, God. And so I just ask that you give them a fresh vision, God, that you just blow a fresh wind on their businesses, God, that you just give them the strength, God, to do the things that they may not want to do, God, that you just give them divine wisdom on how to move forth, God, in the way that they should move, God, because each and every one of them are a piece to this divine puzzle, God, or they are a pillar in this individual leg, God. And so give them what it is that you would have them do in this space, God. Show them who you need them to be a part of what you're building here in this place and in this space, God. And so we just love you on today, God. I ask that you give them courage, God. I ask that you give them discernment, God. I ask that you give them a resounding yes, God. I ask that you just bring back the excitement, God, the vigor, God, the grit, the just fun in their business, God. That they start to dream like never before, God. That they start to move their feet in expectation of you to just help them and put your super on their natural, God. That they just believe that if they give you something, if they give you their first fruit, and if they plant and if they show up every single day, that you won't forget the work of their hands, God, but you would bless it, God. And so we just thank you on today, God. I am just so grateful to be a part of what you're doing in their lives, God. So grateful that you allow me to speak today to them. And I just hope that whatever I said here today fell on good soil, God, that it encouraged hearts and minds like never before, God, that it just gives them the excitement to run out of this meeting and just do what they need to do in order to get what they came here for, God. And so we just love you on today. We honor you. We bless your holy name. It's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, go gas her up in the group me. I love y'all. Bye.
I'm cracking up. Bye.